One of the worst statistics that I've heard actually is that fashion is the second most polluting industry in the world after oil, which is a really shocking statistic. And when we talk about fashion, we're not just talking about, high fashion, we're talking about clothing, which, obviously is a basic human need and everybody wears. So environmental issues around cotton production and the pesticides used in cotton, but moreover about waste and the vast amount of waste. And the way that fashion is just becoming cheaper and cheaper and cheaper, and that's having a huge social impact in terms of the workers' rights, and obviously an environmental issue in terms of the waste and the way that fashion is produced these days.
It's incredibly wasteful. It's wasteful of the world's resources, and it's also incredibly damaging to humanity around the world. So every person that's involved in the production of fast fashion does not benefit whatsoever from the work that they're doing in any way. One of the worst things about fast fashion also is the amount of waste and the toxicity that goes into producing these garments. They're not made from natural materials usually, and the dyes that go into dyeing the fabrics are incredibly toxic, and all that ends up in the waterways. Whenever a garment is made, there's a waste, an offshoot from actually producing the garment, as well as the fact that it takes a really long time for these garments to break down in landfill, and there is no way, they don't go anywhere, they end up in the ground, and that pollutes the soil and the waterways for people.
I definitely think it's increasing. I think statistically the awareness of fair trade in general is growing every day in Australia. In terms of fashion, there has been a lot of exposure of some of these issues in the fast fashion supply chain in the mainstream media. So that's really kind of raising awareness among consumers. Whether or not that's creating a behavioural shift is questionable. Because our whole fashion market is dominated by fast fashion brands, which are producing low quality, low priced fashion, and which is being consumed in vast quantities. So there's awareness and then there's a behavioural shift, and both of those, there needs to be a catalyst.
Fair trade and ethical fashion awareness is increasing in Western Australia, and I think that the local advocacy groups, the WA Fair Trade Collective and Fremantle for Fair Trade, have played an amazing role in raising awareness in the different events that they've been holding. And yeah, there's a great community of people who are very passionate about it and are sharing it on social media.